Everybody, welcome to another episode of A Most Adequate Collection. For this one, I kind of wanted to do something similar to what a lot of others did over the last couple weeks, and I'm nothing if not a follower. So while a lot of people are going over their top 10, top 25, top 50 items in their collection or items that they picked up over the last year, I'm just going to go over the items I picked up last year because I wasn't quite 10 or at least not 10 worth showing. So we'll just kind of go through my year in card collecting and autograph collecting and kind of just show off what I got. Um, a couple cards, most of my stuff was autographs. I didn't really get too far back into the card collecting until towards the end of the year. I did go to one show, a local one. But apart from that, as kind of usual, I would say my collecting style is opportunistic, meaning that just a lot of the items I pick up is just stuff that I just had the chance to. Whether it was a local thing going on or I was heading somewhere and there was an opportunity to pick something up. So a couple of them are actually wrestling related. I know a lot of what I'll talk about is going to be baseball, but I'm a huge WWE fan and pro wrestling in general. So AEW, TNA, and then we have a local group, Below Zero Wrestling, operating out of Fargo, that I go to shows to a lot. And the first, I guess, couple of items are going to be from that. So this is back in August. The last BZW show I was able to go to. A lot of it's going to be local talent. Some of it, who knows if they'll amount to anything on the nationwide stage, but it's a lot of fun. I went with my cousin. Brought my middle daughter, who is my 14-year-old, who's getting into high school wrestling. So she came to that. I don't know if she really cared that much about the wrestling show itself, but it was just something to go to with me. So she came along, and I think she had a good time. But as a special guest, they brought in former WCW Tag Team Champion Buff Bagwell, and I guess you could say technically currently a member of the NWO, because as you know, if you're NWO, you're NWO for life. But he was there signing autographs, making an appearance, and so yeah, I got a couple things signed by him. I got a picture with him, and one day I'll figure out how to put photos in with my videos. But for now, in this part of the learning process, I'm just hitting record and going. But I can at least show off what I got signed. First item I got was a card. This is one that I brought in for my collection. A card that I'd purchased, not purchased, but I got it out of it's either packs or a box that I got way back when in the late 90s when this was released. But as you can see, he signed it in purple, which is great. It's a purple paint pen. And what I like about it is I don't necessarily need to see that headlock over Rick Steiner, but it really stands out, which is nice. I like when something is signed and you can see from across the room exactly what it is, why it's being displayed, and what's going on with it. So you can clearly see this signed item. He takes up a lot of real estate with the card too, which I love. Then in addition to the card itself, I also got a photo signed. This is his photo. Yeah, I didn't bring this one in. I brought the card, but just signed the photo, personalized it to me, signed his name, and then inscribed NWO for life on it. Same thing, purple there, but man, that purple really stands out against that black background. So it looks really, really nice. Um, Second WWE related item that I got, actually my wife got for me. We had a Panchero's restaurant open up here in Moorhead, Minnesota, just this last year. And as part of the grand opening, they brought in former WWE champion Big E. Uh, many people know him as part of the New Day, multiple time tag team champion. Held the WWE championship for a while too, and then unfortunately has been retired after a neck injury. Now he's not permanently injured, not paralyzed or anything like that, but his in ring career, barring miraculous recovery, is pretty much done. But he's still mobile, still does a lot. Works with the company as a commentator, not during the shows, but does a lot of the pre-shows before the premium live events. But he's also, I guess, I forget what the term they use, but I guess he's a brand ambassador for Panchero's Mexican restaurant. So with the grand opening, he made an appearance just about a 2-3 minute drive away from my house. Now, unfortunately, this particular day I was working, wouldn't be able to get off. Well, I guess I could get off of work. I wasn't going to use my paid time off for it though. But mentioned to my wife that it would have been fun to go, and she volunteered herself to go get it on my behalf. And as you can see, similar to Buff Bagwell, I had a card of my own that I sent with her. Had two of them actually. This one is from the Heritage line. I can't remember the year that they did this one. But I had two of them. I did actually open up a box of this and got this one and a double, and had both of them signed. One I gave to my cousin who goes to wrestling shows with me, and we'll watch the premium live events together. So I sent that gold paint pen with her, and the reason I sent gold paint pen had not less to do with the card, but rather the photo that I sent with. I did some research, not research, but did some preparation ahead of time. Found a great looking photo. I don't know what it was originally designed for, but I found a photo project or design or whatever you want to call it that was at a good enough resolution that I could blow it up to a 16 by 20 because I wanted something big. It was I guess a big enough name uh, that I wanted to get something to put on the wall, not just something to go into a binder. And so sent with her a 16 by 20, and she ended up getting that signed for me as well. And here's a good look at it right here. You can see the design of it. It was really cool. Someone put it together. Kind of see the other two New Day members in the background, but considering recent events, it's better that we put ink over their face, right? But he signed to Matt, Big E right there. And then on the other corner, I didn't necessarily need, or not need, but didn't have a specific inscription in mind, but just asked favorite, have him inscribe it with his favorite career accomplishment. And he wrote WWE Champion 2021. I got a frame for this. And this is proudly displayed on the wall still. So that's really cool. It was nice for her to go through the effort of getting that done for me, and certainly appreciated that. Apart from that, the other big piece of in-person memorabilia that I got signed, I mentioned it in my first video, and you can kind of see it. Well, it's not there right now. I took it out to show now. But the Barry Sanders helmet I got. I ended up going with the more of a modern style. But what I like about it is that when you get this signed in silver, really stands out, really pops off the helmet. And what I like about his signature is that it's not necessarily, 100% legible. He doesn't sign it in the way that like a Mariano Rivera or Harmon Killebrew or a lot of the older players would sign it, to where you could see every single letter. But if you see what is right here on a Lions helmet, you can see it from across the room and know exactly who it is, who signed it, what it's for, and it really stands out. Looks great. Was happy to get it signed, and kind of in the similar to the other two, even isn't necessarily something that I would seek out or search out. I never really thought like I have to get a Barry Sanders item signed or get a helmet for my collection. But he was coming into Minneapolis for a signing with Fan HQ, which is a memorabilia company that I've done, or that I've gone to for signings before, one of the bigger ones in the Twin Cities. And we were going up there anyways to pick up some figure skates for my oldest daughter. And so the timing just worked out. But I figure if I'm going for a Barry Sanders signing, I'm gonna make it worth it. Similar to Big E, if the opportunity is there, like let's get something good. And so I went with a helmet. Now, of course, there is a certain cost that goes into it. But these things happen so rarely for me here that when the time comes, you make an effort, you go all out. Lastly is items I got from a card show in Fargo a couple months, well, September, I think it was. September, October. First one I'd been to in years. I know I did go to one last year, but I didn't buy anything. So I guess technically this is my first card show purchase. since I was a kid. My dad, every year when we grew up in Houston, would take me to the big TriStar show at the George R. Brown Convention Center in Houston. And I believe the last one we went to was in 1995. I remember getting a couple comic books, and then I got a box of 1995 Fleer. I thought those items were cool because that year they had Fleer in '95. They did a different design for each of the six divisions of baseball. So I thought that was kind of a cool concept, cool design. I liked things that are kind of flashy and chaotic, or at least at the time. The card designs look very similar to this photo. This photo is basically what a lot of the '95 Fleer cards look like. But anyways, um, so that was what 30 years ago. So first card show purchase of any kind in 30 years, and I did okay. First items were two items from the same seller, autographed baseballs. Wasn't sure about not well, wasn't sure about him at first, but kind of was curious because he had a bunch of baseballs stacked up. There was a group of them that were $20 each, or two for 35, and then a second group that was I want to say 15 each, or two for 25, something like that. But there were some pretty big names, Hall of Famers, retired legends. Of course, being in this region of the country, a lot of them Minnesota Twins related. But I went and got two of them from the two for 35. Some good names. Two of the ones that I thought about getting, there was a Whitey Ford baseball and a Don Larson baseball. Now the Whitey Ford, I really wanted that. The problem is the autograph was so faded. If you see it across the room, it looks almost just like a regular baseball. So it doesn't really have the eye appeal that I'd want, even at the cheap price. If there's not, if I'm having to convince myself to get it, I probably shouldn't get it, right? And then the Don Larson, I really wanted that one too, because it not only was his signature, but it was inscribed with his World Series perfect game designation. Wanted that one too. Signature looked good, stood out, bold, but the ball itself was just so stained. I don't know if it was from what, or it could just be from how it was stored or the environment it was stored in, but it just didn't look right, and so I passed on that one. However, I did get these two. Right here, we've got Cubs legend Billy Williams, Hall of Fame inscription there. And then, even though I'm supposed to hate the Cardinals, I got a Bob Gibson, Hall of Fame inscription there. Now, what was surprising to me was the price, and I did ask about that. I like a deal, but sometimes a deal can seem too good to be true. So, how do you just determine if this is legit, if this is for real, or if this is just someone trying to pull one over on you? Well, they both of these balls did have a hologram inscription on it. You can see it looks like a baseball pitcher, number 19. And a lot of these balls too, not these two, but some of the others had like a newspaper clipping with them, which was the advertisement for the signing itself. Now, number 19 pitcher was Bob Feller, and I know he was known as being, has signed everything that was ever put in front of him. So, not that his signature is worthless, but they were never expensive because he signed so much. But I think he got really into that side of the hobby too. And so I want to say it seemed like, or maybe I saw something about Bob Feller signings on one of these clippings. So I believe what happened is that he had a group or agency or something that would set up the signings for a lot of these shows. And so that was, I'm assuming, that was just a hologram authenticity kind of thing that they did at the time. I don't know. But it looked, it kind of, I don't know, it kind of passed the smell test for me. If someone was going to forge or fake these signatures, I can't imagine that they would go to that effort to make him look that old and weathered, and that some of them stained, some of them faded. It just seemed like it just seemed like too much trouble for that little bit of a cost. And what the guy told me was that it was they were acquired from an estate sale, a guy who had thousands of autographs, and really the reason why these were so cheap is because apart from that hologram, there was no COA or certificate of authenticity with them. So since there wasn't that, it was more of just kind of getting something for him. It looked good. I trusted it, and happy to add them in my collection. And you can see the gaps in the ball display case behind me. They're on display in my collection too, so they're not just going into a bin and being tucked away. They're on display. Lastly, were the two big items that I got from the other two big card related items I got from the show, from the same set, 1956 tops, which I absolutely love. First one being a Minnesota guy, you got to get Harmon Killebrew, and this one I got just for about $40, which I thought was a pretty decent deal. Decent condition. I think if PSA graded it, maybe what 1.5, 2. It's not going to get a high grade. It was loose, so I didn't really care. The one thing that I did care about was the border. Now these 56 cards are notorious for having one of the sides of the white border cut off, and so I didn't need perfect centering, but I at least wanted a visible white border on all four sides. I got that on the bottom. That's kind of I guess the smallest part of the border, but enough that it's visible. Met my uh, Met my qualifications. Happy to add it to my collection. And lastly was the one item that I wanted before I even went to the show. The one item I was looking for was from the same set. My guy Ernie Banks, a great looking card. PSA 1 with a MK designation. I believe that means mark. Well, it's referring to, you could probably see it, but the crease kind of going right through the middle there. But truthfully, I just wanted the card. I didn't care. I got it for a good price. I got this Ernie Banks along with the two balls, $75. So I thought that was a great deal. Happy to add that to my collection. I can always upgrade it and get a better version later on. But truthfully, I'm perfectly happy with that as it is. So yeah, all told, Harmon Killebrew 56 tops, Ernie Banks 56 tops, signed balls by Billy Williams and Bob Gibson. All in total $115. So I thought that was a steal for that. So there you go. I mean, that's the top items from my collection that I added to it in 2025. Not a ton, but not a bad item among them. So yeah, I don't have a lot of plans or a lot coming up that I know of quite yet for this year. We'll see what happens. I know there's a card show in Fargo in March. Haven't checked how it coincides with my work schedule yet, so I'm not really sure. Got a Below Zero Wrestling show coming up in February or March as well. Not sure if they got any special guests lined up for that, but whoever it is, I'm sure I'll get one or two things signed from them. And if not, and if there's no one big, then maybe just get a photo or two from some of the local talent. So we'll see what happens. Kind of excited for the year coming up, going full on into YouTubing and collecting. Have no desire to open up anything unopened, so it's all going to be secondhand stuff. Got a few items that I bought on eBay, some less expensive items, nothing too major, but yeah, that's it for now. Look forward to the coming year, seeing what happens, and thanks all for watching. See you all soon.